Hello everybody and welcome back to the Minecraft Let's Play. And I've done quite a bit of work since last episode. I started work on making the pig pen look a lot prettier, or uglier, because it looks like there's mud, and put a water trough in there and I guess some hay bales, so that's cool. I expanded the potato farm a bit to give us a lot more food, and it's been pumping out potatoes by the hour because is it in this chest? Wait, what? Yeah. So yeah, I've been collecting a lot of resources. I went mining to the point where I could upgrade my character's armor, and I added a little chimney on the mushroom hut. So the to-do list for today's episode is going to be it's a lot of building, so that's why I turned the shaders back on, because I'm not going caving anymore. I'm not going to a dark place. So today's episode's to-do list is to be building a fishing hut, building a wizard tower, and making a wheat farm. So what I'm thinking, possibly, for the wizard tower at least, I'm thinking like maybe it could be built right here or up here somewhere, or just somewhere. I'm thinking, I don't think right here would be too good, because the point of the wizard tower is just so I could have like a beacon to come home to. But regardless, so the wizard tower is going to have the wheat farm around it, or that's what I'm thinking anyway. And it could have like some mushrooms coming out of it, or whatever. Just like a wizard tower, just to, because like the feel of this little valley is already kind of magical to me, at least, considering the fact that we're living, inside of a mushroom, which is kind of cool. So I want to keep the magical vibe kind of going, and I'm thinking maybe right here could be a good spot, or maybe even starting our little kingdom right here with our castle. So I decided a good way to clear out the forest right here for the wizard tower would be to burn it, because I don't really feel like having to go through all of this. So let's just get started. So I'm going to create a testing world to try and figure out what the wizard tower is going to look like. And I have like this little block palette set up for what blocks I'm going to use in the tower. So I've been playing around with the tower kind of feel for a little bit, and this is kind of like the framework that I came up with, just using like an oak log. And I feel like it looks pretty cool, but I'm not exactly sure about how I'm going to do this in a survival setting, or how it's even going to look once I finish it with all the other blocks, because right now all this is a frame, and I think we're going to have like a little open spot right here at the top, but I'm not exactly sure. This is taking me so long just to plan out in creative, so I can only imagine how bad it's going to be when we get to survival. But it's going to look really good once we do get into survival. Just the amount of detailing that I'm going to do, and terraforming the area around it. Right now it sticks out like a sore thumb, because of, it's a flat world. There's nothing else but just this popping out, and this little village right here. But that's not important. So it's a pretty standard like design of a tower, just going straight up. The only difference of it being like, the indentions and things like that. But other than that, I think that this design is ready to go. So this took me like 2 hours to design in a creative world, so I can only imagine how bad this is gonna be in oh god. Especially this was a hard part for me, because it comes out really blocky, and I don't know how to fix it. And I'm gonna do a little bit more tweaking, but if not, then this is just how it's gonna look. This is the wizard tower. Okay, so I was doing a little bit of mining, and just to gather up like different kinds of resources, like andesite that we might need or whatever. And as you can see, I have found the first bit of diamonds for the series. So let's dig around it and see how many diamonds we have here. Maybe it? Yeah, it seems like it's it, but it's whatever. Diamonds. Yes, sir. We now have 2 diamonds. So I'm going to keep resource gathering and getting ready to build that little wizard's hut. And I'm back in the survival world, and I have a decent bit of resources gathered up to the point where I can start the build. So I built a little bridge, and that's going to be my way going to the tower from my little mushroom hut. and the valley's really coming together. So all it's left to do now is to take the resources that I have and put together this build. I've been doing a little bit of work on the tower, and it's going pretty well. I've got the bare bones frames worked out. So now all I have to do is put in the walls and the roof and the interior, and that should be objective number 1 of the episode done. I added in the bottom layer of walls, and obviously, as you can see, it's only cobblestone, so I'm going to add in all of these other blocks to make it look nice and textured and worn down, and like somebody's been living here for quite some time, and I'm going to fill in those with spruce wood. Oh, that's a lot better. Yeah. I'd say that's an improvement. Got a little problem. Now that I've finished the walls and stuff, I don't think I can figure out how to get down without dying, and that's kind of scary. So, in the next clip, if I don't have 34 levels still, you'll know why. Cool, I found out a way to get down safely. Okay, so this is what the build's looking like so far. Let me take a step back. I think that's a little bit small right there. Just, but it should be fine. So, yeah, I'm really liking the way that this is coming out. I think I'm going to do something a little bit right here just to make it look grander and not as dull and plain as that is. And then, obviously up here is where I'm going to set up the roof, and that's going to be an open little space for like a viewing area. And then I'm going to have the little chimney, and it's going to be shooting up flames, and that's going to be the wizard tower done. I've completed putting in windows, and this looks a lot better than the blank slate, but it still could be a lot better, because right now it just kind of looks like a DS screen. So what I'm going to do is put in some pillars and probably some greenery, like some flowers and whatnot, and do this on all 4 sides, and that should be the tower just being done. Okay, so I guess we didn't make every cow in the world extinct, so that's good. I might start a cow pen soon. That one has my mercy. I don't have beef with that one. I will have its beef, but there's a difference. Anyway, so, yeah, I just did a little bit of work, added some greenery and some supports, and it looks pretty good. It's really funny. Compared to, like, the small little mushroom hut, this thing looks absolutely massive. And obviously, I'm probably going to build things bigger than this as we go on in the series, but just look at the sheer size of the thing. Like, this thing is giant, like, it's huge. Anyway. Okay, so I did quite a bit of work, and I put in the roof and some fences right there to keep you in, and I finished putting in windows and all of that, and I feel like it looks pretty good. I just need to put trapdoors on top of that so it doesn't look extremely bare bones. But other than that, that should be this build completely finished and objective number 1 off of today's to-do list. And just like that, we finished the wizard tower after about 4 hours of building. I've finally managed to finish it, and in my opinion, it looks really good. So, let's get on to the next thing of the to-do list today, and that is building a fish hut. So, let's get on to that. So, I did a bit of excavating and terraforming to this land over here, and this is where I'm going to build the fish hut. I burned down a little bit of the forest, as you can probably tell, just from, you know, the empty space and whatnot. And unfortunately, I killed the first sheep of the season. And that was kind of my goal, just to not kill sheep, and like every other mob is free range, just not the sheep. But unfortunately, it was my fault, and rest in peace. Anyways, so I'm going to start building the fish hut. You know, from a distance, this tower really does look good. Even from a distance, and you can't even tell about like all of the, like the whole details and everything. It just, God, that looks good. Anyway, I was just over here grabbing some more materials to get started on the fish hut. So let's get back over there. So I've done a little bit of work on the walls and such for the little fish hut, and I feel like I have a pretty good design going. The reason that I didn't do the same thing right here was this one is because this one, a window would just look kind of weird. Or actually, no, I think a window would be fine. Yeah, so I'm going to put a window here. That's my bad. But, the next thing I need to do is obviously a roof, and then make a little dock. And then that will be the fish hut completely finished. We have a frame for our roof, and all we need to do now is just put this all the way over here. And that should be this build done. Oh, and add windows and a wall and a dock and floors and interior and whatever. But obviously, yeah, that should be everything done that needs to get done for this build, and that will be the second objective of today off of our list. So let's get this finished. We are just about finished with the fish hut. All we gotta do now is everything I said in the past, just, you know, finishing up the entrance, do some interior work, and building the dock, and that will be done and dusted. Everything will be nice, and we can start on our wheat farm, which I think will go pretty nicely surrounding this entire, surrounding the wizard tower. So maybe like having a fence gate, just some fences back here, and you know, all of that. Is it just me, or does this kind of look like a forehead? You know, you got the eyes and the mouth and the mouth, and this kind of looks like a forehead. I don't know. That's probably a dumb thought. Whatever. Let's get back to time lapse. I only just realized how many freaking like candles are around here. It's a little annoying because I think it's because I have shaders on. That's why I'm using so many, because I'm sure if I turn the shaders off, it's gonna like the area is gonna be really well lit and everything's gonna be there are just too many torches. But in general, I think the shaders, like, they make the dark spots really dark so that the light spots really pop. Anyway, I did quite a bit of work on there, as you can see on the time lapse. I tried fixing the forehead problem by adding a bunch of random blocks on the top of that building because, yeah, so, other than that, all I gotta do now is finish that dock, so I just need some, if I can find them. Do I need to make, I might need to make some more. Well, where are my sticks? Okay. So all I have to do now is craft up some fences and finish that dock so that I can get started on the wheat farm so that we have another source of food that's for a fence gate. So that we have another source of food that is not our potatoes or the pigs, because eventually we're going to get quite tired of that. I would think so, at least. So just having as many resources as possible is a really good thing. So let's get over here and finish doing this, and then I can, then I can get started on, God, crops look so pretty. Then I can get started on the wheat farm, and I have no idea where I'm going to put it. I thought putting it right here would be a good idea, but that's just going to make this, the space way too crowded, and I want to have that space to build more things, like storage rooms and whatnot. So let's put some torches right here to light this up, and hopefully this is, hopefully I use this more than the dock over there for fishing, but you never know. This could just be an aesthetic thing. So regardless, I think this looks pretty good, but that should be the second objective of today, knocked off of our list, which is building a fishing hut. So that's done, and now let's move on to the last thing, which is building a wheat farm, or making a wheat farm, or planting a wheat farm, whatever you want to call it. And I'm gonna figure out the perfect spot for that because I'm not quite sure yet. I think I found a really good spot to start the wheat farm, and that's right along this path that I was making to connect the bridge from the house to the, I was connecting the pathway from here to the wizard tower all the way to the fishing hut just so that I have an easier way. And now that I look at it, I think maybe a wheat farm surrounding this area right here, going all the way stretching here to here, would look really good and surround the pathway, and it'd be a really good idea to add a couple of like what was it called, scarecrows in it, and make everything just really blend into the land and make it really just blend, whatever. I ran into a little problem. I only have 13 wheat seeds, so that's not the best of situation to find myself in. So yeah, I honestly thought I had more seeds than this, but it's whatever. So I'm almost done with it. I even have a little scarecrow going, and it's using our old armor, so it's putting that to good use, and I'm really proud of that. And oh, okay, so I didn't travel those. So, and it's gonna be on both sides, and is this not hydrated? It should be. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have it on both sides. Gonna have some fences going so that I don't trample the crops like that. And yeah, and I placed the rest of the fence gates, or just the fences, or whatever you want to call them. And I don't think I have enough time left in this episode to fill this thing up completely with the rest of the wheat seeds, so hopefully by the time next episode comes around, I'll have this entire place filled up. And I think we did a pretty good job today of being productive, especially in quarantine, but whatever. So we made this really tall tower, made a small little fishing hut, which looks really good, if I don't say so myself, and we made a tiny little bit of a wheat farm, and also this bridge, which I've been, yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys.